Alright, guys, it's Colin here, and we're going to be talking about the differences between a Roth IRA and a 401k account. And we're going to throw in a little bit about an HSA. Let's get into it. So, with a Roth IRA is pretty simple. It's usually good to use when you're younger and you don't make as much money. So, what a Roth IRA is you can contribute up to $6,000 of post-tax money. So, it's already been taxed, and you can put up to $6,000 into it every single year. No more than $6,000 though. And one of the downsides of a Roth IRA is you need to be making less than $139,000, and if you're married and have a joint account, you need to be making less than $206,000. But other than that, it's really good for when you're young. If you're working a 9 to 5 job and you're in your teens and you're working at McDonald's or Subway or something like that, you really want to be putting as much as you can into a Roth IRA, preferably $6,000 a year, because what can happen is, since it's already post money, that $6,000, that compound interest is going to help you a lot, and you're be making a lot of money. And then when you pull it out, you're not going to be taxed at all. So all the profits that you've made in that account, it's not going to be taxed at all. And that's what's really good about a Roth IRA. Right now, 401ks are really good. What the thing is with a 401k is, if you have a lot of money now and you're making a lot of income now and you expect to be retiring in a lower tax bracket, you can invest $19,500 in pre-tax money. You don't have to pay tax on it yet, into a 401k. And what happens is, that's really good too. That can build compound interest, make you a lot of money really fast. But the thing is with that, once you pull it out after you're 65 and a half, you get taxed. And the max contribution that you can contribute to this account is $19,000 a year. So, you have to weigh the odds. Are you young and a Roth IRA is a better option for you and you plan on making more money? Or are you older, maybe in your 30s or 40s, and you are making a lot of income right now and you want to retire maybe with a cheaper job, or when you're in a lower tax bracket so you have to pay less taxes? That's up to you to decide. Now, getting into the final one is an HSA. HSAs aren't like Roth IRAs or 401ks, as in you can use that money when you retire. With an HSA, what happens is you take pre-tax money up to $3,500 a year, right? So you take that pre-tax money and you put it in an HSA. And what happens is, if you break your arm or you have any medical expenses, they take that out and you can pay for it. Actually, you don't have to pay tax at all on this. So that's really good. But what's really bad about the HSA is, if you invest $3,000 into it 1 year and maybe you break your arm or something like that, and you only have to pay $2,000 worth of your medical bills for that entire year, then once that year's over, it doesn't go on to the next year. That $1,000 that you didn't spend or that you didn't use in medical bills, that's gone, and the government gets that. So that's what's really bad about the HSA. But if you want to figure it out and you know how much you're going to spend, or you assume how much you're going to spend, and you track how much you usually spend and average spend, then that'll be really good for you. You can invest, maybe on average, if you spend $1,500, then that's going to be really good. Then you know how much you spend average, so then you can just put $1,500 in, and maybe next year you have to pay $2,000, but at least you don't get taxed on $1,500. So that's going to be really good. And yeah, that's it. That's the difference between a 401k and a Roth IRA, and sprinkle in some HSA advice there. So pretty much with all of these, you can only take your money out when you're 95 and a half. Besides the HSA. HSA goes every single year. But with a Roth IRA and a 401k, you can only take your money out once you're 59 and a half. Otherwise, you get taxed. Well, for like a Roth IRA, for an example, if you put your money in now and it's already been taxed, and you take your money out like before, one, you get taxed on the profits that you got, which already hurts and kind of defeats the purpose. And then you get taxed as a 10% fee just for taking it out before you're 59 and a half. My bad, not 49. And that's the same thing with a 401k. Since the money isn't taxed and you put it in, then you have to pay that fee and you have to pay tax on the profits, which defeats the whole point of having one of those. So just so you guys know, Roth IRA is better for when you're younger You can put about $6,000 into it a year max. And for a 1K, you can put $19,000 into it every single year. That's pretty much it, guys. That's the difference between a Roth IRA and a 401k. Hope this helped. Hope you guys love investing. See you guys.